The morning sun shined over the city police station. The air was cool and calm. Inside the station, a German shepherd named Rex sat quietly beside his owner, Officer Armin. Rex was a trained K9 dog who had served with the police force for many years. He had worked with Armin since he was a puppy. They had shared countless missions, long nights, and dangerous cases. Rex was not just a dog to Armin, he was his partner, his friend, and his family. Today was a different day for both of them. The chief had announced that Rex was being retired from duty. His age was showing, and even though he was still strong and alert, the department believed it was time to let him rest. Armin understood this decision, but deep down he felt a heavy pain. He had trusted Rex with his life many times, and the thought of not having him by his side felt empty. Rex looked at Armin with calm eyes, as if he understood what was happening. His tail moved slowly and his ears twitched when Armin spoke softly to him. Armin kneeled and patted Rex on the head. "You did great, boy. You did everything we ever asked. You deserve peace now." A few officers gathered around them. Everyone loved Rex. He had saved people, caught criminals, and even once found a missing child in the forest. The officers clapped and cheered for him. The chief stepped forward and placed a small medal around Rex's neck. "This is for your bravery and loyalty, Rex," he said proudly. Rex stood tall as if he knew the meaning of that moment. His eyes shone bright and his tail wagged. Armin smiled, but his heart ached. He knew this was goodbye. After the small ceremony, Armin took Rex home. The ride in the police car felt longer than usual. Armin glanced at Rex through the mirror. The dog sat quietly, looking out the window at the passing streets. It was the same city he had helped protect for years. When they reached home, Armin opened the gate and let Rex walk freely in the yard. Rex sniffed the grass, the air, and the familiar scents. The house was simple, but Rex had always loved it. His favorite place was near the front porch, where he could sit and watch everything around. Armin placed a new bowl of food and water near the porch and sat beside him. "You'll stay here from now on," Armin said softly. "No more chasing suspects, no more dangerous nights." Rex licked his hand and rested his head on Armin's knee. Even though Rex was retired, his instincts were still sharp. He noticed every small movement around him. The barking of other dogs, the passing cars, even the postman's footsteps. Armin's neighbors often said Rex looked like he was always on duty. A few days passed peacefully. Armin went to the police station for work each morning and Rex stayed home watching the house. One day Armin came home early. He looked tired but happy. "Guess what, Rex?" he said while sitting beside him. "They assigned me to a new case. It's about some fake doctors selling wrong medicines to old people. We caught a few, but one is still missing. He's pretending to be a doctor and visiting houses. People trust him and then they fall sick. I wish you were still on duty. You were always better at sensing danger." Rex tilted his head as if he understood every word. His ears went up and his eyes followed Armin's face closely. The next morning, Armin had to visit a nearby hospital for his investigation. He left Rex at home again and locked the gate. Rex watched him leave with sad eyes. After Armin's car disappeared down the road, Rex sat near the porch. But something made him uneasy. His sharp nose picked up a strange smell in the air. It was faint but familiar. It reminded him of the time when he and Armin had once arrested a man who used strange chemicals to make fake medicine. Rex stood up and walked near the gate. His tail was still and his ears moved quickly. He smelled the air again. Someone was walking down the street wearing a white coat. The person had a small bag in his hand and looked like a doctor. But Rex's instincts warned him that something was wrong. The man stopped in front of Armin's house and looked around. Rex barked loudly. The man froze for a second, but then smiled and walked closer to the gate. "Quiet dog," he said. "Your owner called me for a checkup." "He told me to come inside," Rex kept barking. His eyes watched every move the man made. The gate was locked, but the man bent down to look through the bars. His eyes looked nervous and his hand trembled slightly. Rex could sense his fear. A neighbor, old Mrs. Rena, came out of her house and looked at the scene. "Who are you?" she asked the man. Armin didn't say anything about a doctor visit. The man gave a fake smile. "I'm from the city clinic. I came to deliver medicine." Mrs. Rena looked unsure. "You can leave it with me," she said. But the man shook his head. "No, I need to give it to him directly," Rex growled. His growl was deep and powerful. The man took a step back, clearly scared. He mumbled something and started walking away. Rex barked again, louder this time. He knew this man was lying. His instincts were never wrong. A few minutes later, Armin returned home unexpectedly. He had forgotten his file and came to get it. As soon as he entered the street, Rex barked again and looked toward the corner where the fake doctor had turned. Armin looked at Rex and then at Mrs. Rena, who quickly told him what had happened. "A man in a white coat came here," she said. "He said he was a doctor, but Rex didn't let him come near. He left just before you arrived." Armin's eyes narrowed. "A fake doctor," he said under his breath. He ran to his car and radioed the station. "This is Officer Armin. A suspect matching the fake doctor's description is in my area. I'm going after him." He looked at Rex. "Good boy. You did it again." Rex wagged his tail, ready to follow. Armin smiled. "All right. One last chase, old friend." They drove together down the street, following the direction where the man had gone. Rex's nose stayed close to the open window, sniffing the air. He barked once, pointing toward the alley near the market. Armin turned the car quickly. The chase had begun. Rex's heart beat fast. Even though he was retired, he knew his duty was not over. Somewhere ahead, danger was waiting, and once again the brave K9 was ready to face it. The alley was narrow and dark, with tall buildings on either side. Trash bins lined the walls, and the faint smell of food and garbage filled the air. Armin parked his car carefully and stepped out, holding the leash in his hand, but Rex did not wait. The German Shepherd ran ahead, his nose close to the ground, sniffing carefully. Every step Rex took was confident, precise, and full of purpose. Armin followed him quickly. "Rex, stay close. Don't let him escape," he said. Rex barked softly, signaling that he understood. His sharp eyes scanned every corner, every shadow, and every small movement. This man had been dangerous, and Rex could feel it in the air. A few meters ahead, the man in the white coat paused. He looked around nervously and pulled out a small bag. He opened it and took out several bottles, pretending to check them carefully. Rex stopped behind a large trash bin and watched silently. His tail was still and his body was tense. He could sense that the man was trying to trick someone. Armin whispered, "Rex, let's see what he is up to." Rex barked once, and they moved closer, hiding behind a corner. The man seemed unaware of them. He then walked toward a small house at the end of the alley. His steps were slow, careful, and suspicious. Rex's ears twitched. He could smell fear and dishonesty. Armin looked at Rex and nodded. "Let's go, boy." They followed quietly. Rex stayed a few steps ahead, leading the way. The man reached the door of the house and knocked. A young woman opened it. She looked worried. "Hello, doctor," she said politely. The man smiled, his expression calm but fake. "Good morning, ma'am. I have some medicine for your father. Please let me in." The woman hesitated. "I wasn't expecting anyone," she said. Rex barked loudly from the street. The sound echoed through the alley. The man froze. His eyes widened. He turned quickly to see the dog. Rex growled, showing his sharp teeth. His presence was strong and powerful. The man dropped the bag and stepped back. Armin ran forward. "Police, stay there!" The man tried to run, but Rex blocked the exit. The German Shepherd was fast, moving with precision. His body was low, ready to stop anyone who tried to escape. The young woman stepped back, scared but safe. "Thank you," she said to Rex and Armin. "I didn't know he was dangerous. I thought he was a real doctor." Armin handcuffed the man and checked the bottles in his bag. They were fake medicines. Some could have made people very sick if used. "You're lucky Rex was here," Armin said. "He can smell danger and lies better than anyone." Rex wagged his tail slightly but stayed alert. He sniffed the man's clothes and barked again. His instincts told him there might be more. Armin looked at him carefully. "What is it, boy? Do you think there's another place?" Rex ran toward the alley again, stopping near a small abandoned shop. The door was broken and the smell of chemicals came from inside. Armin approached slowly, keeping his hand on his radio. "Rex, lead the way." Rex entered the shop carefully, sniffing every corner. Inside, the room was dark and smelled strongly of medicine and chemicals. There were bottles, boxes, and papers scattered everywhere. Rex sniffed each item carefully. He found a small notebook under a table. It had names, addresses, and instructions. The fake doctor had been planning to visit several houses that week. Armin looked at Rex. "Good boy, you found everything." He picked up the notebook and radioed the station. "We have a location where the suspect prepared his medicines. Send backup." Rex stayed near the door, watching the streets outside. He could hear the sounds of the city, the voices of people, and the approaching sirens. He felt proud but alert. Danger could appear at any moment. A few minutes later, the backup team arrived. They secured the area and helped Armin take all the fake medicines as evidence. The man was placed in the police car. Armin looked at Rex and patted him. "You did an amazing job, boy. You kept people safe today." Rex barked softly, happy to have helped. After the operation, Armin took Rex back home. The sun was setting and the sky turned orange and pink. Rex walked slowly, tired but satisfied. He knew his duty was important, but even in retirement, he had proven he could protect people. That night, Armin made a special bed for Rex near the living room. He placed a blanket and some toys for him. Rex lay down, still alert but finally relaxed. Armin sat beside him. "You're more than just a K9, Rex. You're my hero." Rex rested his head on Armin's lap. He was tired, but his heart was full. He had done his job, saved people, and caught a criminal. Even though he was retired, he still had the spirit of a police dog. The next morning, Armin received a call from the hospital. They wanted to discuss the case of the fake doctor. Armin thought of Rex. He knew the dog's instincts were incredible, and if Rex had been there earlier, the operation would have been easier. As Armin prepared to leave, he looked at Rex. "I wish you could come with me, boy, but you need rest too. Today you stay home and relax." Rex tilted his head but seemed to understand. His eyes followed Armin as he left. Rex spent the day watching the street from the porch. Children played nearby, neighbors passed by, and birds flew across the sky. Rex observed everything carefully. Even in retirement, he felt responsible. He wanted to protect his home, his family, and his city. Suddenly, Rex noticed a small bag lying near the gate. Someone had left it there while passing by. He sniffed it carefully. Inside, there was nothing dangerous, just some papers and food. Rex wagged his tail. He had been cautious, but this time it was safe. That evening, Armin returned home. He looked tired but satisfied. "Rex, the fake doctor case is closed. The suspect confessed and all the medicines are out of circulation." Rex barked softly, happy to hear the news. Armin knelt and hugged Rex. "You did all of this. You were the real hero." Rex licked his hand and rested his head on Armin's shoulder. They sat together, enjoying the quiet evening. Life seemed peaceful, but Armin knew that danger could appear at any time. Even if Rex was retired, his instincts were sharp. The city had seen many criminals, but with Rex around, people could feel safe. Days passed, and Rex continued his life at home. He still ran in the yard, played with his toys, and watched the streets carefully. Armin often called him to the police station for advice. Sometimes they practiced small training exercises just to keep Rex active. One afternoon, a new neighbor moved in next door. He was polite and friendly, but Rex sniffed him carefully. There was nothing dangerous about him, but Rex's sharp senses always noticed everything. Armin smiled. "You are still the best protector, Rex." Rex barked softly and ran to the yard. He felt proud of his work. Even retired, he was still alert, still brave, and still ready to protect people from danger. The bond between Armin and Rex grew stronger every day. They had shared many years together, and even though Rex was no longer on duty, their friendship was stronger than ever. Armin knew that one day he might need Rex's instincts again. The city was full of surprises, and Rex's sharp senses could never be ignored. That night, Rex lay near the porch looking at the stars. He remembered all the missions, the criminals, and the people he had helped. His heart felt proud and calm. He had done everything he could. He was more than just a retired K9. He was a hero, a guardian, and a friend. The morning was calm, but Rex sensed something unusual. He stretched his strong legs and sniffed the air carefully. Armin was preparing breakfast, humming softly, unaware that Rex's sharp nose had already detected a strange scent from the street. The German shepherd walked toward the gate and sat, ears up, eyes focused. Armin noticed him. "What is it, boy?" he asked. Rex barked once and ran a few steps toward the alley. He stopped and looked back at Armin as if to say, "Follow me." Armin quickly grabbed his jacket and followed Rex outside. The street was quiet, but Rex led Armin to a small shop at the corner. The door was slightly open, and inside someone moved quickly. Rex growled, warning Armin that danger was near. Armin called quietly into his radio. "Back up. Possible suspicious activity at the corner shop." Rex stayed at the entrance, alert and ready. The man inside noticed the dog and froze. He wore a white coat, similar to the fake doctor from the other week. He tried to hide behind a shelf, but Rex sniffed the air and barked loudly. His growl echoed, sending a clear message. He was not afraid, and he would stop anyone who tried to harm people. Armin entered carefully. "Police, come out with your hands up." The man panicked. He grabbed a small bag and ran toward the back door. Rex chased him immediately. He moved fast, precise, and strong. His powerful legs carried him across the shop floor without knocking over a single shelf. The man ran out into the alley. Armin followed, shouting for him to stop. Rex stayed close, blocking every escape route. People in the street watched as the German Shepherd skillfully cornered the suspect. His instincts were perfect, and the man realized he could not escape. Finally, Rex lunged and caught the man's coat, holding him steady until Armin reached him. "Stay down," Armand shouted as he handcuffed the man. The suspect tried to resist, but Rex stayed calm, holding him in place without hurting him. Armin checked the bag. It contained fake medicines, similar to the previous case, but also new documents with more addresses. The man had planned a larger scam. Armin patted Rex. "You saved many people again, boy. You always know the danger before anyone else." Rex wagged his tail but remained alert, sniffing the man's bag for anything else suspicious. They brought the man to the station. The officers were impressed. "Rex is amazing," one of them said. "Even retired, he is better than many active dogs." Armin smiled. "I know. He is my partner and my friend." At home, Rex rested near the porch, but his mind was still active. He could smell the city, the people, and the streets around him. His instincts told him that more challenges might come. He was retired, yes, but his duty to protect was never over. The next day, Armin received a call. There had been reports of another fake doctor visiting people in the neighborhood. He looked at Rex. "I think it is time for you to help again, boy. Just for today." Rex barked softly and wagged his tail, ready to go. They drove to the area where the reports came from. Rex's nose worked immediately. He sniffed the air as soon as they stepped out of the car. "You always know the way, don't you?" Armand said. Rex barked once and ran toward a small house. A man in a white coat was at the door trying to convince an old woman to let him inside. Rex barked loudly. The man froze and stepped back. He tried to run, but Rex blocked the exit. Armin arrived and shouted, "Police! Don't move!" The man realized he could not escape this time. He had tried to trick people again, but Rex's sharp instincts stopped him before he could do any harm. Armin checked the bag. It contained fake medicines, some labeled for serious illnesses. If these had been used, they could have caused great danger. The old woman thanked Armin and Rex. "I don't know what I would have done without your dog," she said. Rex wagged his tail as if he understood her gratitude. After returning home, Armin and Rex took a walk in the yard. Rex sniffed every corner carefully. Even at home, he stayed alert, always ready to protect his family and the neighborhood. Armin watched him with pride. "You may be retired officially, but in my eyes, you will always be on duty," he said. Rex barked softly and lay down near Armin's feet. Days passed peacefully, but Rex's instincts never rested. He noticed small things, a stranger passing by, a bag left near the gate, unusual noises at night. He alerted Armand each time, helping him stay aware of the city around them. Armand realized that Rex was more than a retired police dog. He was a guardian, a protector who never missed a single detail. One afternoon, while Rex was resting in the sun, a neighbor ran toward Armin. "Officer, a man in a white coat is visiting houses again. People say he is pretending to be a doctor." Armin's eyes widened. He looked at Rex. "Looks like we have another case, old friend." Rex barked, ready to go. They drove to the area. Rex immediately sniffed the air. He stopped near a small street and barked. The man in the white coat was approaching a house. Rex ran ahead, blocking the man's path. The man panicked. He tried to explain, but Rex's growls warned him that there was no chance to trick anyone. Armin arrived quickly. "Stay there," he shouted. The man froze and dropped his bag. Rex sniffed the contents. They were fake medicines and more documents with names and addresses. The man was part of a larger plan, and Rex had stopped him in time. Armand handcuffed the man and called the station for backup. Officers arrived quickly and took the suspect away. Armand looked at Rex. "You saved more people again, boy. You never fail." Rex barked proudly and wagged his tail. His instincts had once again protected the neighborhood. That evening, Armin sat near the porch with Rex. The sky turned orange and pink as the sun set. "You may be retired, Rex, but your work is never over," Armin said. Rex rested his head on Armin's lap, calm but alert. He knew that his purpose was to protect no matter what. Rex's life after retirement had changed, but his spirit remained strong. He stayed home safe and calm, yet always ready for action. Armin realized that no matter how many years passed, Rex's instincts would always be sharp and his courage unmatched. Rex watched the streets from the porch, his eyes scanning every movement. Children played nearby and neighbors walked past. Everything seemed normal, but Rex stayed alert. He knew that even in quiet moments, danger could appear. That night, Armin prepared dinner, but he kept an eye on Rex. "You are always watching, aren't you?" he asked. Rex barked softly and wagged his tail. He had done his duty again today, and tomorrow he would be ready for any challenge. The city slept peacefully, but Armin knew that with Rex around, people could feel safe. The bond between the officer and the dog was stronger than ever. Rex was not just a retired K9. He was a hero, a friend, and a protector. Even when Armin went to the station, Rex stayed home but kept his senses sharp. He could smell the city, hear the smallest sounds, and sense danger before anyone else. Every day, Armin remembered how lucky he was to have Rex. The German Shepherd had saved lives many times, and he continued to do so even after retirement. The night was calm, and Rex lay near the porch, his ears moving at every small sound. Armin looked at him with pride. "You are the best partner anyone could ask for." Rex licked his hand, showing loyalty and love. His life was simple now, but his heart was full of courage. Tomorrow, Armin thought, they might face more challenges, but with Rex by his side, even if only in spirit, they would always be ready. The retired K9 had proven that bravery and loyalty never retire. The morning air was crisp and cool. Rex woke early, stretching his strong legs and shaking his fur. The sun was just rising and the city was slowly coming to life. Armin was already in the kitchen preparing breakfast, but Rex's sharp nose had detected something unusual again. He sniffed the air carefully, his ears twitching. Danger could appear any time, and his instincts told him to stay alert. Armin noticed Rex pacing near the gate. "What is it, boy?" he asked. Rex barked softly and ran toward the street. Armin followed, grabbing his jacket and calling quietly into his radio. "Stay alert. Rex has picked up something unusual." They reached the street where a small crowd had gathered. A man in a white coat was standing near a house talking to an elderly woman. Rex immediately growled, his body tense and ready. The man looked around nervously, clearly trying to appear calm. He carried a small bag with him. Armin whispered to Rex, "Let's see what he's up to." Rex barked and ran toward the man, blocking his way. The man froze, unsure of what to do. Rex's growl was low and strong, warning him to stay back. "Police!" Armin shouted as he ran forward. The man dropped his bag and tried to run, but Rex moved quickly, cutting off his escape. His powerful legs and sharp instincts made it impossible for the man to move. Armin reached him and handcuffed him carefully. The bag contained several bottles of fake medicine. Some were labeled for serious illnesses, and Armin knew that if people had used them, they could have been harmed. The man tried to explain, but Armin shook his head. "You will have to explain everything to the police station. This is serious." Rex sniffed the man's coat and bag, making sure there was nothing else dangerous. He barked once, satisfied that the area was safe. Armin patted his head. "You did it again, Rex. You saved people before anything bad happened." The elderly woman thanked them both. "I don't know what I would have done without your dog," she said. Rex wagged his tail, happy to be praised but alert to any other danger. After the arrest, Armin and Rex walked back toward home. The city streets were quiet, but Rex stayed alert. He sniffed the air constantly, checking for any other suspicious activity. Armin watched him with pride. "Even retired, you are the best protector anyone could have," he said. Rex barked softly in agreement. At home, Armin prepared some food for Rex. The German Shepherd ate quickly but kept his ears up, listening to every sound. Armin knew that Rex's instincts were never wrong. Even in retirement, he remained a guardian. The following day, Armin received a call from the police station. They had new reports of a man pretending to be a doctor. visiting homes in another part of the city. Armand looked at Rex. "I think you have one more mission today, boy." Rex barked and wagged his tail, ready to help again. They drove to the new area. Rex's nose was working immediately, sniffing the air and listening to every sound. He led Armand toward a narrow street where children played and neighbors walked. Rex stopped near a house and barked, alerting Armand. A man in a white coat was at the door, speaking politely to an elderly couple. He carried a small bag, pretending to be a real doctor. Rex barked loudly, growling. The man froze. He realized he could not trick anyone with the German Shepherd around. Armand arrived quickly. "Police, stay where you are!" The man tried to run, but Rex blocked his path. He moved with precision, cutting off every escape route. Armand cuffed him while Rex sniffed the bag. Inside were fake medicines and documents with more names and addresses. This man had planned a larger scam, and Rex had stopped him in time. After the arrest, Armand radioed the station to report the success. Officers arrived quickly to take the suspect away. Armand looked at Rex. "You are amazing, boy. You never miss a single detail." Rex barked softly, proud of his work. The city streets were calm again. Rex stayed alert, but he also enjoyed walking back home. He ran in the yard, sniffed the grass, and watched the neighborhood carefully. Armand followed him, smiling. "Even in retirement, you are still a hero." Days passed and life seemed peaceful. Rex spent his mornings watching the street from the porch and his evenings resting near Armand. But his instincts were always ready. He noticed when strangers passed by, when unusual noises occurred, and even when a small bag was left near the gate. Each time he alerted Armand, keeping their home and neighbors safe. One afternoon, while Rex rested in the sun, he suddenly stood up, ears raised. He sniffed the air carefully. A man in a white coat was approaching, carrying a bag. Rex growled, warning Armand of the danger. Armand ran outside. "Rex, let's go." "This man is suspicious." They followed the man quietly. He stopped near a small alley and tried to hide. Rex barked loudly and the man panicked. He dropped the bag and tried to escape, but Rex blocked his path. Armand reached him and cuffed him immediately. The bag contained fake medicines and papers with addresses. The man had planned to trick several families, but Rex had stopped him before anyone was harmed. Armand looked at Rex and patted his head. "You saved many lives again, boy. You are more than a retired dog. You are a hero." Rex wagged his tail but remained alert. His instincts had worked perfectly, and he had protected the neighborhood once more. Armand knew that even though Rex was officially retired, he would always be ready to stop danger. That evening, Armand and Rex sat near the porch watching the sunset. The sky was painted with shades of orange and pink. Rex rested his head on Armand's lap, calm but alert. Armand smiled. "Even in retirement, you are always ready." "You are the best partner anyone could have," Rex barked softly, happy to be praised. He had done his duty once again. His courage, loyalty, and sharp instincts had protected people from harm. Armand knew that Rex would always be a guardian, even in his retired life. The city slept peacefully, but Armand and Rex remained vigilant. Danger could appear any time, but Rex's presence made the neighborhood safer. People knew they could trust the retired K9 to protect them. At home, Rex continued his daily routine. He ran in the yard, observed the streets, and stayed alert to every sound. Armand often called him to the police station for advice, knowing that Rex's instincts were unmatched. Even when he was not on duty, he was still the best protector in the city. One night, while Armand was sleeping, Rex stood near the porch, listening carefully. He sensed a small movement near the gate. A stranger was trying to enter quietly. Rex barked loudly, alerting Armand. Armand woke up quickly. "Good boy, Rex, you caught him." They scared the stranger away before any harm could happen. Rex's bravery and sharp senses had once again prevented trouble. Armand knew that the German Shepherd would always be ready to act, no matter the situation. His retirement had not changed his loyalty or courage. The bond between Armand and Rex grew stronger each day. They had shared years of missions, danger, and friendship. Now, even in retirement, Rex continued to protect his family, the neighborhood, and the city. He was more than a dog. He was a hero, a partner, and a loyal friend. As the days went by, Armand realized that Rex's retirement did not mean the end of his work. It meant a new way to protect, a way to keep watch from home, and a way to help in times of need. Rex had proven that courage, loyalty, and instincts never retire. That night, Rex lay on his bed near the porch watching the stars. He remembered the missions, the criminals, and the people he had protected. His heart was proud, knowing that he had made a difference in many lives. The city was calm in the early morning, but Rex felt a tension in the air. He stretched and sniffed carefully, ears pointed, alert. Armin was preparing for work, but Rex sensed something unusual nearby. His sharp instincts told him danger was close. Armand noticed Rex standing by the gate, staring down the street. "What is it, boy?" he asked. Rex barked softly and ran a few steps, then looked back at Armin as if to say, "Follow me." Armin grabbed his jacket and radio and followed the German shepherd into the street. A man in a white coat was walking quickly toward the houses. He carried a small bag and had a nervous expression. Rex sniffed the air, growling low and warning Armin that this was the same type of fake doctor they had dealt with before. The man had returned to trick more people, Armin whispered. "Let's stop him before he can do anything." Rex ran ahead, moving with speed and precision. The man noticed the dog and hesitated. Rex barked loudly, blocking the man's way and showing his strength and determination. The man tried to run, but Rex followed closely, preventing him from escaping. Armand caught up and shouted, "Police! Stop right there!" The man froze, realizing he could not trick anyone with the K9 alert and ready. Rex lunged slightly, holding the man's coat firmly but without harming him. Armand handcuffed him carefully. The bag the man carried contained fake medicines, some labeled for serious illnesses. If they had been used, many people could have been harmed. The man tried to explain himself, but Armand shook his head. "You have no excuse. You tried to harm people, but Rex stopped you in time." Rex sniffed the bag and growled softly, satisfied that the threat was contained. Backup arrived quickly. Officers took the suspect and the fake medicines to the station. Armand looked at Rex and patted his head. "You did it again, boy. You saved people before anything bad could happen." Rex wagged his tail, proud of his work but alert to any remaining danger. The elderly neighbors who had been nearby thanked Armand and Rex. "We owe our safety to this brave dog," one of them said. Rex barked softly, acknowledging their gratitude but still focused on the streets around him. After the arrest, Armand and Rex returned home. The streets seemed peaceful, but Rex stayed alert. He walked in the yard, sniffed the air, and watched every movement carefully. Even in retirement, his instincts had not weakened. Armand made Rex a comfortable place near the porch. He placed a blanket and a few toys for him. Rex lay down, resting but ready to respond if danger appeared. Armand sat beside him. "You are more than a retired dog, Rex. You are a hero, a guardian, and my best friend." Rex rested his head on Armand's lap. His eyes were calm but aware. He had stopped many threats, protected many people, and proved that even retired, his loyalty and courage were unmatched. A few days later, the city was quiet again. Rex enjoyed the mornings in the yard, watching children play and neighbors walk by. He sniffed everything carefully, listening to the smallest sounds. Armand noticed his alertness. "Even now, you never rest fully, do you?" he said. Rex barked softly, ready to protect if needed. One afternoon, while Rex rested in the sun, he suddenly stood up. He sniffed the air carefully and growled. Something was wrong. A stranger was approaching the neighborhood carrying a bag and wearing a white coat. Rex barked loudly, alerting Armand immediately. Armand grabbed his jacket and followed Rex. They approached the man quietly. The stranger stopped near a house and tried to act normal, but Rex's growls and sharp gaze prevented him from moving closer. Armand shouted, "Police! Stay where you are." The man panicked and tried to run, but Rex blocked his path. He moved with perfect precision, cutting off every escape route. Armand arrived quickly and handcuffed the man. Inside the bag were fake medicines and documents with addresses. This was the main threat, planning to trick many families. Rex had stopped him in time. Backup arrived soon, taking the man and his fake medicines to the station. Armand looked at Rex with pride. "You stopped him, Rex. You saved so many people today." Rex wagged his tail, happy to have protected the neighborhood once again. That evening, Armand and Rex returned home. The sky was painted with orange and pink shades as the sun set. Rex lay near the porch, resting his head on Armand's lap. "Even in retirement, you are always ready. You are the bravest partner I could have ever asked for," Armand said. Rex barked softly, acknowledging the praise but remaining alert to the surroundings. Days passed peacefully. Rex enjoyed his retired life but stayed sharp. He ran in the yard, sniffed the grass, and observed every movement in the streets. Armand often checked in with the police station, knowing that Rex's instincts had prevented serious harm many times. One night, while Armand was sleeping, Rex sensed movement near the gate. A stranger tried to approach quietly. Rex barked loudly, alerting Armand immediately. Armand woke up and looked outside. "Good boy, Rex, you caught him." They scared the stranger away without any harm. Rex returned to his bed near the porch. He lay down but remained alert. Armand watched him. "You are always ready to protect, aren't you, boy?" Rex barked softly in agreement. His courage, loyalty, and intelligence had kept the neighborhood safe for years, and continued to do so even in retirement. The bond between Armand and Rex grew stronger with each passing day. They had faced danger together, solved cases, and protected countless people. Rex had proven that bravery and loyalty never retire. He was more than a dog. He was a hero, a guardian, and a friend. The city was safe again thanks to Rex. People in the neighborhood had learned to trust the retired K9, knowing he could detect danger better than anyone else. Armand often told neighbors stories of Rex's past missions, but they had also witnessed his instincts firsthand. Rex's reputation as a hero was well earned. Armand and Rex spent peaceful evenings together. They watched the sunset, enjoyed the calm streets, and shared quiet moments. Rex had completed his career, but his spirit remained strong. He was ready to act whenever needed, protecting his home and his family with unwavering loyalty. One morning, Rex woke up to the sound of children playing nearby. He sniffed the air and watched the street carefully. Everything seemed normal, but he remained alert. Armand noticed his watchfulness. "Even in simple moments, you are always ready," he said. Rex barked softly, showing that his duty was never truly over. The retired K9's life had changed, but his heart was full. He had saved lives, stopped criminals, and protected people with courage and intelligence. Even in retirement, Rex had proven that loyalty and bravery are not measured by duty hours but by the strength of the heart. That night, Rex lay near the porch, watching the stars. His mind remembered the missions, the criminals, and the people he had protected. He had lived a life full of courage, love, and loyalty. Armand sat beside him, proud and grateful for his loyal partner. Rex's story ended not with retirement, but with continued guardianship. He remained a protector, ready to act at any moment. The city was safer because of him, and his legacy as a brave and loyal K9 would always be remembered. Armand looked at Rex one last time before going inside for the night. "You are my hero, Rex. You always will be." Rex rested his head on his paws, satisfied and calm. He had saved lives, stopped danger, and shown the world the power of courage and loyalty. The German Shepherd had retired from active duty, but he had not retired from being a hero. He had proven that love, bravery, and loyalty never fade, and that even in peaceful times, a guardian always remains ready.